On the Jacob Beer Show today, I am so happy to be joined by somebody who a lot of college kids have probably seen on YouTube Shorts or on social media. Grant Cardone, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jacob. Thanks for having me on your show.
Well, first off, I really appreciate this. It's great to hear what you're going to be providing, especially young people with. You have kids of yourself, so of course you pay attention to what the youth is up to in today's society. So
Yes.
thank you. So take us through a little bit. For you, of course, you grew up. You kind of had a hardship for a couple of years, especially when you had a drug addiction, which it's so good to have seen you overcome that. What is something that sticks out with you still today that you learned from that process of addiction?
Well, number one, Jacob, don't use drugs, man. Nobody beats the drugs. Okay, like you could just go back over history. Nobody gets away with it. Nobody ever starts playing around with drugs thinking they're going to become a drug addict, but it happens. And it happened to me. I spent 10 years of my life from 15 to 25 years old going backwards. Just it was a terrible part of my life. And I do regret it. By the way, I know some people say they don't have any regrets. I have tremendous amounts of regrets by that, and also many other things that I've done in my life where I'm like, God, I wouldn't do that again if I was 15 or 20 years old. Definitely don't fool with the drugs. Leave the alcohol alone. Leave the weekends and the partying for the week. Okay. I know you guys all want to have fun. When you're young, you want to have fun. But the truth is, the fun doesn't come until later. And if I knew today what I knew, well, if I knew then what I know today, man, I would be so much further ahead financially. I'd be further ahead with my network of people, and I would be further ahead with the amount of fun I had. If I would have literally not sold out to that immediate, moment of fun, which, by the way, you can't have fun because you don't have any money. I mean, let's keep it real. If you can't have real fun unless you have enough money that you don't have to worry the next day about the dumb stuff that you did the night or the weekend before. And so I'm not telling people not to have fun and go out and party, but you're not ready, right? You don't have the right people with you. You don't have the right women with you. You don't have the right guys with you. You don't have the right equipment. You don't have the right resources to actually even have a party. So my message to all young Americans is, dude, wait for the partying until you have the right resources to do a real party.
That's a fair point. And I don't like to share too much about my personal life, but I will say this, that people who I've hung out with, because I went through freshman year of college, and people who I hung out with who were with me one weekend, who I would run into at a party, or hang out with on a Friday night. 2 weekends later, they're already out of my life and they don't want anything to do with me. And I'm like, I was hurt by it because like I fell in love with a girl and it's like she's no longer here 3 weeks later. So
Yeah.
I see your point on that
Well,
because
that's the other
clearly
thing I wouldn't do, dude. I wouldn't chase the poontang either. I would leave that alone. By the way, you young guys, you don't really have much to offer a woman at this point. She's not a woman anyway. So I would leave the chase for relationships and love and sex and all that stuff. All you're going to do is get yourself in problems. Between 20 years old, this is a true story, between 20 and 45, there was not one woman that I was with, not one, that could have become the right person for me to be with later in life. So literally, like, I could have missed all that action. Tremendous amounts of energy was wasted in chasing women. Tremendous amounts of energy and creativity was wasted. And again, I don't want to sound like some moralist because I'm not, but I'm out chasing when I'm young. I'm out 25, 30 years old, 35, 40 years old. I'm out chasing, trying to impress women and trying to be with them and trying to have a good time. And dude, it was just not what I should have been doing. It's backwards. In the beginning, you build. Later, you celebrate. And in the beginning, if you're looking for a girl, I mean, this isn't farmland 1900s where you're going to be a farmer and you're going to, your neighbor lives 25 miles away. We're in the 21st century now. Like you can wait to do some of this stuff till later. We're living longer and we're going to need more resources to live longer. And when you're 25 years old and you have no money, you have no credit, you have no assets, you don't have any experience or wisdom, what do you have to offer another human being other than maybe a minute of pleasure? And a minute's probably long for you, Jacob.
Well, real quick, I have a question.
This is the kind of stuff Dan Quayle won't tell you.
How did you know Dan Quayle was on my show?
I know. I do my research.
Wow. Okay. He was on about a year ago, ironically. So thank you for mentioning that. Wow, I've never had another interviewer mention, hey, yeah, Dan Quayle on before. That stuck out to me. So thank you. So I'm going to ask a very basic question here that might be basic too, but I think it's important because I'm an intern myself making some money this summer. But other people too, especially being at Purdue, a lot of people have STEM internships in biology or engineering. It's a big STEM school. So people have good internships over the summer that might pay 15, even 20, $25 an hour, which is good money for 2 or 3 months if you're a sophomore, junior.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for them to do if they come away with $5,000 gross? What should they do with the money?
Well, dude, they should invest the money. You should get rid of the $5,000. You started broke. You should always be broke. Okay. You should get money, take the money, invest in assets. You should be broke in cash and rich in assets. Start building assets now. Also, for you guys that are interning, you're interning in the field that you're in, but you really need to intern. You need to learn those skills that you don't want to learn. Okay. Like you need to learn sales, marketing, scaling. Like, why would you work for $25 an hour when what you really want is $25 million? So like right now, you guys should be leaning into, how do I become an Elon? How do I become somebody who has tremendous amounts of financial independence so that you can literally mold an industry, not just work in an industry. And if you're going to do that, you need sales, you need marketing, you need scaling, big think, you need wealth creation formulas. You need to know, how do I create wealth? How do I, sustain myself and an organization so I can scale something big enough. Look, man, Mark Zuckerberg was what? He was 23 years old and he was a billionaire. He wasn't interning on the weekends for $25 an hour, bro. He wasn't hunting $5,000 and he wasn't hunting the poontang. He was looking for the big score. And this is what I would tell all the kids, man. Your world you have so many more opportunities than I had when I was 25 years old. The whole world, you have more opportunities. You have availability to this, just this right here. Okay. The fact that you and I can do this, it costs us literally nothing to do it. And we can reach tens of thousands or millions of kids and say, look, you don't have to do it the way we did it. You don't have to go the old slow way. You can literally hack into the experience of, I'm 66 years old. You know how many losses I've had in 46 years of being in business? You don't need to have those losses. You need to learn from mine and avoid that. I spent 5 years in college. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. If I was going to go to college, I should have done that in 2 years, not 5 years, but I was fucking around all the time. I had no focus. I had no real initiative. I didn't understand why I was there. I was just doing something. Then when I went and interned or got a job on the weekends, it was just to pay bills and party. It was all this vicious cycle of stupidity. So I ended up with more debt after college than I had. I shouldn't have had debt. Okay. I shouldn't have ended up with debt. I should have been working the entire time. I should have done my entire 5 years should have been done in 2 years. And I should have been working when I wasn't studying. And I'd be worth $4 or $5 billion today if I'd have taken the advice I just gave you.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. Which also, speaking of advice, we're talking about the typical college student. So pretend that you become an adjunct professor at Purdue, Miami, Florida State. What is the 3 things you're telling a business student on day one when they walk into the Cardone classroom?
I'm going to teach them financial targets for themselves. Okay. The first thing I'm going to teach, if I'm a finance, I have an accounting degree. I got out of college. I didn't even know how to set up a checking account. I didn't understand the real difference between an asset and a liability. Okay. I didn't understand. I thought I was working for money because of where I grew up. So if I was a college professor of finance at Purdue, my first class would be this. You need $5 million in assets under management for your net worth. This is your target. I'm going to show you the math on how to get it. I'm going to show you the $5 million target. Here's the math. Here's the path. These are the career paths that'll get you there. This is how much money you need to make each minute of each day in order for you to have financial independence by the time you're 35 or 45 years old. That is doable for anyone, by the way. And it may or may not involve your lane, your current education lane. Okay, the finance teacher should say, look, if you got to go outside your lane to pick up this $5 million bag, change lanes. That's what lanes are for. You don't have to stay in one lane. You're not stuck in one lane. We got all this technology around us. We got AI coming, man. There's so many opportunities out there. I can stream. You can reach people. You can network with the whole world, not just America. $5 million for all your friends that are watching, that is a nothing target. That's like a nothing burger. It'd be like you bring me to a restaurant. You say you can't eat. 5 million is that easy. It's not even on the menu. It's so easy.
So, were you continuing to say something, or
no? I'm just saying, like that's where it starts. The teacher, unfortunately, starts with opening a book.
Yep.
Okay. So, and the book is what? Economics. Oh, okay.
Economics 1.
Okay. Or it's statistics. I'm like, bro, how about the wealth formula? How about the wealth formula? That's why I went in. Nobody goes to finance to learn finance. They're trying to learn about money. So like, guys, I'm going to show you a path to a $5 million net worth. You need $5 million. By the time you retire, you will need at least $5 million. At least $5 million because of inflation.
Probably 10 million if we keep going down the current course.
Bro, you might need 25 million to roll the way I roll. Okay. And now your friends are gonna say, but I don't need to roll like that. Yes, you do. You're wrong. You have been miseducated. You're not financially illiterate. You are financially indoctrinated to be a spectator in the game of finance. So people need to be re-educated about how much money do you actually need. Like I'm proposing a program for President Trump, that when he gets in on January 6th, he would initiate a financial independence program for all Americans. And we would scale this out nationwide, make it available to 331 million black, brown, white, male, female, 8 years old to 88 years old. Anybody and everybody can do this program for free on how to create financial wealth for themselves and their family at any age. The money's available, bro. Like, there's plenty of money, endless amounts of money. You're looking for $25 an hour, and I'm trying to show you how to find 5 million. See what I'm saying? So you're going to go get your $25 an hour. You're going to get your $5,000. I'm like, no, screw the $5,000, bro. Let's go get 5 million. 5 million changed your life. 5,000, you're basically managing $5,000. You're a manager. You haven't changed anything. Your life hadn't changed. Can't buy anything. If you buy anything, you're broke again. See what I'm saying?
It doesn't create.
So why don't it doesn't create change? There's nothing changed, right? You have 5,000. You have 50 $100 bills that are going to get lost, stolen, or depreciated. And most likely, they're just going to get used. So you end up with some shoes, you end up with a belt, you end up a girl, whatever. She leaves you 3 weeks later. You can't even remember her name. She doesn't remember your name. It's off to the races and we're going to do it again. And you're on this treadmill and you never get off the treadmill because your goal was to make money, not create wealth. And so that's what I would do. If I was an economics teacher, first of all, I'd have the most sold out class of all the classes because every kid would be like, fuck it, I want to be in Grant Cardone's class. And that's what people need to be taught today, not financial literacy. It's not basic financial education. It should be about wealth creation for all Americans because it's available and it's possible.
That's a very valid point, I think. And for you, would you say, looking back, so you would not go to college looking back, correct?
Say again?
You would not go to college looking back.
Oh, no. If I had to do it all over again? Now, with the internet, with the availability of the internet and AI, there's no chance in hell I would ever go to college.
Interesting.
Now, for those of you who are like, well, I'm a lawyer or I'm a doctor. Okay, well, I wouldn't be a lawyer or a doctor either. So that's off the table.
Or an engineer.
I mean, I could probably work with Elon without getting a degree. Elon doesn't even value engineers with degrees.
And you said artificial intelligence, then Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, Meta doesn't anymore either, correct?
They don't. Microsoft, Meta, like none of them are actually requiring college degrees anymore. They're like, we don't need that, dude. Can you move the bar? Can you build a department, a division, a product? Can you bring revenue into the house? Right? Can you bring revenue, a top line? Can you grow the company? That's what people want. The most valuable thing is, like, if you came to me and you said, Grant, I want an intern. I got a guy right now. How old is Cornelius? He's 24 years old. Guy's 24 years old. He got out of college, spent 4 years down here at Miami. Where did he go to school? Miami U? Miami State? FIU. Okay. So the guy's going to make $550,000 this year. He's 24 years old. He made $200,000 the first year he was out. 2 years later, he's going to make $550,000. He's a young black man that's going to create financial independence. He's investing money in real estate. He earns money here, big money, $40,000 a month, working in a company, supporting an entrepreneur on growing a company. Okay, that's the other thing that kids need to be taught. Like, you need to pick a company where you get access to a guy that wants to roll. Like, you want to be next to somebody that's taking chances and risk and spending money, investing money, and it's willing to share with you, not what they say, but what they do. Like, you need to be in an environment that's very compressed. You know, like when do you get ready for a test? You get ready when tomorrow's the test, so you get ready the night of. Like, you need to be in an environment where we make diamonds. And diamonds require pressure. So that's what I would tell everybody. Like when you leave college, okay, when you leave there, if you ever get out.
Let's hope I do.
Yeah, I mean, like 64% of all kids are still in college at 4 years.
Wow.
This is crazy, dude. It's a crazy. Get in and get out. If you're going to do it, get in. Get in with pure intention, full time, kill it. Get in and out as fast as possible. Number two thing I would say about college, if you're going to go to college, make sure you network. Every person you meet, build a file for those people. You will need those people in the future. Even people that you don't like, build a file. I made this mistake. I should have kept a file. Name, brothers, sisters, everything. I should have built a critical file on every person I met in my career over my lifetime. Because I'm going to need that network to build my net worth. I'm going to need those people later. So yeah, would I go to college again? No. If you're in college, don't bail now. Lean into it. You know, my daughter told me one day, she's like, if you can't get out of it, get into it, you know, and get over it.
Very good point, I think. Wow, that's. I mean, you hit it right on the thing there. Get into it. I think that's a thing that college kids and anybody young considering college needs to consider from this interview, largely. And then kind of my last thing I want to focus on is what are your thoughts on the way that EA Sports are going? This is an interesting topic I wanted to close with because obviously we hear a lot of things about how pro sports and things like that are kind of going away, and the video game world is taking over everything from an entrepreneurial standpoint. What do you think of that? I like watching sports, and I would never watch this esports thing.
Yeah.
But this sports thing is building like NBA arenas. They're filling people to watch video games. What do you think?
People, the mass majority of population Earth are spectators. They're not doers. They're spectators. They want to watch other people have moments.
Just like Taylor Swift fans.
Yeah, exactly. They're fans. They're spectators. They're not on the field. They're in the stands watching. And, you want to be as close to the feel as you can. Like if you're going to go to a UFC fight, do you want to be as close to the blood and the action as possible? I don't want to be in the bleeder seats. And so the best place to be is in the arena, right? The best seat is Dana White. He's got the best seat for the UFC. He gets paid to be entertained, and he controls the event. That should be the target for everybody. You could be a fighter, but it's a short career. Okay, you could be an owner or you could be an investor. Owners and investors last forever. And so I would tell everybody, man, look, either be an owner, be the second guy, be the third guy, be at the top of the food chain, but don't be a spectator. Get as close to the mat as you can. And if you're LeBron, and you're a player on the court, well, be the best and put yourself in a position to be an owner at some point and to influence the game. So I don't think AI replaces real sports. And I don't think the gamers replace it either. But I think the gamers do become a tremendous. It's going to support the spectators. The spectators are always going to pay, bro. Like, why do people pay for pornography? Because they can't get it on their own. So it's lazy, bro. It's lazy. Why do people use MasterCard and Visa? Because they're lazy. It's called MasterCard for a reason.
They're master.
Yeah, exactly. So sure. I could go get my own money or I can use a plastic card. Which one's easier? Well, it looks like the MasterCard's easier, but it's not. It's actually harder.
Which is another thing. And then since I know you're on a time crunch, of course, one last thing I got to close with is if you had to move to any other state, which state would it be?
Well, I'm in Miami, so where else would I live? I mean, I could live in Tennessee. There's a number of states I could live in. A better question is what other country, but I could go to Nashville. I could go to Las Vegas and live in Vegas. Maybe Dallas. I like Dallas. I think Dallas becomes a mega city in the future. Austin will definitely be a boom city, but I don't know if I could live with some of the nutcases that have moved into that town. The West Coast of Florida is phenomenal, and it's going to boom. See, I never have one answer for you, bro. I got a bunch of choices. You never want to have one place to go. You want to have different, alternatives.
Well, I guess two other than questions. Country.
Yeah, Portugal. I'd go to Portugal. I'd love because I like the weather there. I'd go back to California if when they finally have a revolt there and get their politics in order. I would go back to California if they reduce their taxes down to zero. The city would boom, the state would boom in prosperity. And they got rid of the nutcases and quit giving away everything for free. Where else would I live? What other countries? Singapore's probably too small for me. Thailand's too third world country, but it's beautiful. It's a great place to visit. I hadn't been to Vietnam, but I heard there's great things happening there. I don't know, bro. Like I'm gonna go where the flow is. So wherever I can have expansion, I would be willing to go to.
For sure, that sounds like a good answer. And then two last quick fireball questions I got to end with. Is the Gulfstream G650 really the best jet? I got to ask that.
There's no such thing as a bad jet, bro. All jets are good jets. If you can fly a private, if you ever get a chance to do that, I mean, these super heavies, the 650 extended range. I'm getting ready to take it to France. So that'll be like a 12-hour flight nonstop. It's fantastic, man. I mean, one of the places I'm happiest is on my plane, particularly when it's just me by myself. It seats 17. But if it's just me and two pilots, it's great. Me and my wife and the kids is phenomenal. Me and my wife, my kids and two friends, max, we'll sleep all the way over to Nice and get off. And then, it's fantastic to travel like that. Is it the best? I don't know. Air Force One's the best, bro.
Well, maybe I'll get an interview on that if Trump wins. So we'll have to see about that one. But well, Grant, I appreciate you
Well, let me
coming
ask you a
on.
question. Who do you think wins the election?
I well, I don't think it's going to be Biden. I want to be very clear about that. Um, it's so easy for any party to change their mind within a week. What they're saying this week could be totally different than next week, let alone a month. But I think it's going to be Biden, or unfortunately, and it's not because of election fraud. I want to be clear about that. It is because America is turning in a very liberal direction,
Yeah.
and people just don't care enough, and that's the sad reality. I'm not blaming it on election fraud. I'm blaming it on, just like you said, with business, same type of people and
Yeah.
the spectator. It feels good, to just write off Biden or Buttigieg or Gavin Newsom over this guy who yells at people on Twitter who's orange. It feels better to do that. And this guy is in a jumpsuit, so like, let me vote for this old white guy who likes ice cream. It sounds cool. Not to me, but to spectators.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Grant, for coming on. And if you ever are at Purdue, I hope I can see your Jets.
Well,
But
dude,
you need to
look. If you can get the educators there interested in how big's your business program? How many?
Oh, I'd say 6,000 students.
Yeah, dude. If they ever want to bring me up, I'll fly up there at my own expense. If they can get all the business students together, and I'll come in there and do an hour that will rock their minds.
Wow. Would you do it for free at the college?
I'll do it for free.
And you even fly there for free? Because I know it's not cheap to fly a jet up there.
Well, it might not be cheap, but what am I going to do? How else am I going to get there?
There. Good point. Well, I will talk to the dean of the business school, or Doug DeVos add-on, who's our big-time business graduate who owns the Magic with his family.
Yeah, get it handled, bro. Get it handled. And me and you'll have dinner together.
Deal.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And then you could put together a VIP, a special group of kids that we'll do the speech for all the kids, and then we could do a VIP thing afterwards, where just maybe 10 or 15 or 20 of us get together for Q&A.
That's a fair point. Well, I will talk to the dean school about it. It would be
No,
great
don't
to
talk.
have
Just
you.
get it done, son.
I will. I should mention I still can't get on the Purdue University president on my show. They've rejected me twice, but yet I'm able to get on a former vice president. You're clearly a lot bigger than any athletes there. Eric Trump. It's really weird how things work at Purdue, but I keep plugging along, and if people want to network with me, great. If not,
yeah, well, look, if I were you, I wouldn't even worry about getting him on the show, because what I would do is, because maybe he's got a problem with, being there and exposes whatever. And he's like, nah, I can't do that. But I would just keep getting the names that you're getting.
Good point.
And
I've got on a former Purdue president too, which I hate interrupting here, but it's just ironic because I literally had on our past president, who the business school is named after, Mitch Daniels. So if I can get you up there, the Daniels School of Business is what it's called. But I guess one last thing I promise: networking. Why is networking just as important as education? I value networking, but most people don't care what I have to say. So what do you say about networking? We'll close on that.
Dude, let me tell you, there's two things that are important on this planet: who knows you and who you know. And who knows you is more important than who you know. So, like, if I had it to do all over again, I'm going to figure out, how do I get people to know who I am? So when I walk in a room, they're like, oh, he's here. Oh, you know who that dude is? Okay. Oh, man, that guy, I know that guy. Like, when you have that kind of presence, I'll tell you a story. I flew to Dubai, first time I'd ever been to Dubai. We landed the 650 at 12:30 at night, rolled up into the desert. We're in the desert in Dubai on the tarmac, rolling up. I'm so excited to be there. Okay, my family's with me. I got my wife, 2 kids. We get off the plane. There was a friend with us. We get off the plane. We put our bags on we're going in flying in the FBO, so it's a private entry into the country. And I have this laptop bag that I carry with me everywhere. And I throw it on the conveyor belt, and it goes through the machine. It goes ding, 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 and they run it back through. Ding, ding, ding. They run it back through. I said, oh, man, what's in my bag? Okay, they run it a third time. and they said, Mr. Cardone, we need to take this. We need to find out what's in your bag. This ringing the X-ray machine off. I had a 9mm clip magazine with 13 rounds in it. Okay, wow. Red tip, 9mm, that I had left in the bag, and I forgot I had it in it. Okay, so now I realize, we got a problem. This is 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning now. So I told my wife and kids, I said, you guys go on to the hotel. This could be a while. I'm in a foreign country, Dubai, with this. I know they're going to have to check me out, find out who I am, and do some research. So they bring me into into an office to interrogate me. And I got to tell you, man, I'm a little nervous now because I'm in the desert. Okay. And all this stuff that I see about, these countries, the Middle East, yep. I'm like, oh my God, an American in the Middle East with what looks like a weapon to them. So this guy walks in the room all angry and antagonistic. What are you doing with this? Why are you here? I said, bro, look, I carry a weapon in America. I took the weapon and the magazines. I carry 3 magazines with me everywhere I go. And I left one of them in the bag. And he gets a phone call. Okay. You're sitting here thinking right now, Jacob, what does this have to do with networking? So he gets a phone call. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's still here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's still here. Okay. I'll keep him here. Okay. Hangs up the phone. He says, it'll be another 15 minutes. I said, what's going on? He says, it will be another 15 minutes. And he leaves the room. 15 minutes later, this guy walks in with all of my books. The 10X Rule, Sell or Be Sold, Closed Survivor Guide, every book that I've ever written. He runs the airport in Dubai. And he says, Mr. Cardone, welcome to our country.
Wow.
Who knows you is more important than who you know.
That is a great way to put it. Wow. Well, Grant, I appreciate you coming on Jacob Beer Show, and I am going to try to get you to do something at the Purdue Business School.
Trying's lying, son.
Appreciate it. Hope to see you around.
Just get it done. Get it done. Hey, can you get it done or not?
I think I can.
Yeah, you think you can.
I'm going to make it happen.
Make it happen.
Yes.
Good to be with you.
Thank you so much, and I will see you around in person at some point.
Great. Can't wait to meet you.
Thank you.